Today, we're going to make ombre checkboxes. They start out like this. They end up like this. Stick around. I'll show you how. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Susan with Blue Vinyl Stickers, and today we are going to be creating ombre checkboxes for our happy planners. So before we get started, as always, I will let you know that we are going to be using the business edition of the Silhouette Studio software. I'm going to go over a couple of things, locate a couple of things, and we're going to set up our work surface. The things that I will be going over today is I will be using the Select tool. I will be using the flyout for the drawing tools. I will be using the flyout for the flexi shapes. I will be using the transform panel. I will be using the replicate panel, the offset panel, and I will be using the fill panel option. So let's go ahead and set up our work surface. Now this will work if you have a Cameo or even if you have a portrait. So we're going to go ahead and click the setup page, and we are going to click the machine that you have. If you have a Cameo, fine, click Cameo. Or you can click any one of these that you have. If you have a portrait, it will put your mat at the portrait side. So we're going to click Cameo because that's what I do have and will be working with. The cutting mat, I do like to cut with a cutting mat. You can cut stickers without a cutting mat, but I like to use a cutting mat, old traditional, love the cutting mat, and so I will use it. And I will select the letter size from the drop down. I don't want auto because I could design with auto, but I don't print in 12 by 12, so I will select letter. So come down here to letter. Now, I will also select the show print border and the show cut border. So while I'm here, let me show you, if you've never used those before, what those features do. And right now, let's go ahead and show you, let me back up one. Let me go ahead and set up the registration marks, and then I'll come back and show you what these two do. So I'm going to click on registration marks and click on. And I like to set my thickness as thick as it goes, just to give my machine a little bit more to look at. And I always prefer to bring my registration marks out as far as I can get them. If you have problems with your machine reading them out that far, then leave them set as a default. So now we're going to come back here to page setup. Now, on what I just said of if you have something that is not reading right or is not cutting correctly down in this area down here, when you do print, then you can change the orientation of the print. So click it to landscape, but then click it to rotate your mat to this way. So you can still design in the portrait version or portrait view, but you will be cutting in the landscape version. So when you put the paper on your mat, just make sure that the black dot is always in the upper left hand corner, no matter what orientation that you are using. So let's go back to standard rotation and go ahead and set up our boxes. Now this is where it gets fun. We're going to come over here to the flyout for the rectangle, and I'm just going to draw a box. Doesn't matter what size the box is, just draw a box. Click the select tool, make sure this is selected. I'm going to come over here to my transform window and to my scale tool. Click scale, make sure your lock is unlocked. Highlight the width and make it 2.5 because that, or excuse me, 1.5 because that is the width of the box we will be using. And then come down here to the height, and the height is going to be 2.25 and hit enter. And there is the size of the checkbox we will be using. Now right mouse click and duplicate it and just set it up here. Just because we may not use it, but I do want to have it up here in case I need it. I'm going to bring this one down here and increase the size so you can see it. Now we have our basic box. So if you wanted to take this basic box and fill it with a color, it will print this color and it will cut around this edge. So if we go over here to the send panel, you see the red line that is around it, it will cut that red line. If you go to line, it will have that red line and it will cut this, this box. So let's make it bigger again. And we're going to make it no color. Now here comes some of the fun part. Click on our flyout window again and draw a rectangle, and we're going to draw a rectangle. Get the select tool, and I am going to make 6 boxes for our ombre checkbox. So click here, and I know that if I divide 2.25 divided by 6, that my box height needs to be 0.375. So leave the width alone right now. Make sure it's unchecked. Highlight this and say 0.375 and hit enter. And that's going to be the height of all 6 of our boxes. Now I want to put a print blade around the outside. But if you use the print bleed that is with the machine, okay, you come over here and you see print bleed. If you turn that on, then what will happen is that it will actually put an invisible box around your design, and it will it will take the design that you have here and it will almost distort it. So if you're using a pattern, it will actually distort that pattern. We're just going to be using solid colors today, no patterns, so we could actually use the print blade and get away with it. But I'm going to show you how to do this if you're going to use a design. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I want the bleed to be just slightly more. So this box here is 1.5. I'm going to make this box, back over here to my transform window, I'm going to make this box 1.75. Now you may think that's a lot. It is a lot. So let's make it 1.65. Oops, need to select it. There we go. Now, highlight the box, come over here to your replicate tool, and we are going to make 5 more boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and for a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, and I'm going to group those. So you see what I did? I just touched the outside of those boxes and I grouped them. Then I'm going to select them both, come over here to my transform window again, and hit this arrow, the circle with the arrow in it, and it's going to put the 2 together. Now if you look, you've got the cut line on this is exactly as tall as the box. Well, I want to make sure I have some outside lines here. If I was to increase the size of each one of these boxes, it would distort the inside boxes and they wouldn't be the 0.375. So I'm going to highlight it, right mouse click it and ungroup. I'm going to grab this top one and I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to grab the bottom one, and I am going to pull it down. Simple as that. And then I am going to select them all. Well, we'll do that in a minute. I got ahead of myself. Okay, so this is going to be your cut line. Let me make it a totally different color so you can see it for the moment. Okay, that's going to be my cut line. That's going to be my designs. So let's go ahead and make this a color. So highlight it all, and let's go ahead and choose this blue. Now I want to make this an ombre effect, and I want it to go from dark to light. So I'm going to start down here, and since I have 6 boxes, the increments that I'm going to use are 15-degree increments. That'll make sense here in just a second. Come over here to the palette. Open up your palette, and we're going to be using the transparency feature. So we have this one here, and we are going to put this one at 90 and hit enter. Okay, we're going to click the next one, put in 75. The next one, we're going to put 60. The next one, we are going to put 45. We're going to put 30. And each time I enter one of these numbers, all I'm doing is hitting enter. We're going to put 15. And there we have our ombre box. And we are going to highlight it, right mouse click, and group it. Now, if you want to make several of these in different colors, this is so simple. Right mouse click, duplicate it, come up here and select another color, and it will keep that ombre effect for you for as many colors as you wish to use. Duplicate. Okay. Now, what it didn't duplicate was our cut box, because I didn't have them all grouped together. I only grouped the ombre. So if you want to cut those, don't forget you need to put your cut box. So we say duplicate, and we're going to say duplicate, highlight them both, and center. Okay, hope you're following along so far. Okay, so right now I have boxes that are ombre effect and that have cut lines in them. I don't want these cut lines, so I am going to select them, and I am going to make them transparent or turn them off. Okay. Now you're saying, well, you can just go and do the no cut when you come over here to the send panel. And I can actually put no cut. If I had simple, then I can select a color. Like I can select this and say no cut. But it's just easier for me to just put in no color. So let's zoom in again so you can see. Highlight these and put in no color. It's just simpler, easier. At this point in time, I'm going to right mouse click and say group, because I don't want anything to move. Okay, so these are all solid right now. So if I go over to my send panel and I click on line, then I will cut just, I can turn off the red because it's picking up this over here. Okay, you see it faintly over here? That's what it wants to cut. So just turn it off. Okay, so what it will cut is those blue lines. And as you see, it will print everything here, but it will cut on those inside blue lines. Come back over here to design. Now let's put in our little circle checkboxes. So we're going to go to our flexi shapes. And let's go ahead and do a heart. So click on the heart, and we're going to make it, we can resize it. That's the heart we want. Right mouse click and say convert to path. And there we have our heart. I'm going to take this heart and I'm going to make it white. And place it right here. Before I do anything else, I'm going to make it no cut lines, because I don't want my machine coming in here and cutting these hearts out. So I'm going to turn it off. So now when I drag it out here, see, it's here. You can see it if there's color behind it. But since there's no color behind it, you won't see it on the white background. So I'm going to put it right here. And I want it to go down to all 6 of these. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to use my replicate tool. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take this one, bring it down to the bottom, right where I want it, highlight it, hold down my shift key, and select everything. And since I already have this one placed where I want it, and this one placed where I want it, first thing I'm going to do, transform window, make sure they are aligned. And then I'm going to hit my vertical spacing. Now watch carefully. Boop. There you go. It is exactly right where I want it. Now if I wanted to put hearts on each one of these, then I would just hold down my shift key again, select them all, right mouse click, group, right mouse click, and duplicate. And just drag them over to here, right mouse click, and duplicate, and drag them over to here. And you would do that with any design that you will pull out of your flex panel, or if you have a design that you want to pull in from your library, you would do it the exact same way. Just make sure that this has a no cut line. All you want to do is, since it's white, it won't print. Just make sure it's where you want it. And there you go. And group. And group. Okay, so now everything is solid. So there are your ombre checkboxes. Now if you wanted it to go light to dark, then just reverse the way that you put in your percentages for your colors. Now, to arrange these, make sure that you just stay out of your boxes here. Okay, don't put it in your check boxes. Now, if you're thinking, okay, well, I've got it this far, then I can go ahead and change the color. Let's watch and see what happens. Okay, and what happens is that because you grouped everything, it colored in everything that was here. Okay, it colored in that cut box. Undo all the way back. Right mouse click and say ungroup. Now if we click this box, it'll make it a different color because it's coloring in the bounding box. So say undo, and you want to make sure that you ungroup again, because remember, this part and this part are grouped. So we want to click on the outside box and change the color. I think I already have a purple one up here. No, I don't have a purple one. Okay, So now you can duplicate, and we are going to group this one. And since this one isn't grouped, click on the outside and choose another box, another color. Okay. So I'm going to leave that one right there for a second. We're kind of going to come back to that for a second. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm just going to set this one off to the side. We'll come back to that one in just a second. Okay, so as you see, these won't fit in here. You can make these as close as you want. You don't need to leave a little white line in there because the blue line is your cut line. So we're going to make them as close as possible. We're going to select them all, make them even, and just horizontally space them because of my OCD, and group them. So now this will be your design. Now, as you see, I've highlighted it and it won't move anywhere. I've been waiting several videos for this error to pop up. So if this happens to you, you highlight it and it won't move anywhere. This is how you fix it. Highlight it, hit your delete key. Just hit delete. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute, my design just went away. Now hit Control Z. It puts it back, highlight it, and now you can move it. I know that's weird, but that's what that error message is. And I have been trying, like I said, for a while now to get you guys to see that error message. If that happens, don't panic. That's how to fix it. That's the quick and simple fix. Now, if you want to add some more designs up in here or more designs down there, great. So what we're going to do is we are going to replicate these below. And it won't go 4 down. So now that it is all on here, right mouse click, and we're going to group this again. We're going to stick this, make sure this is in the center of the cutting mat. Now we have all these extras around here. You can do with them whatever you want. You can add boxes, you can add flags, you can do anything you want in these extra areas. But that is how to make an ombre checkbox for your happy planner, or any planner that has a box that is 1.5 inches wide by 2.25 inches in height. You can adjust it to whatever height your planner is, and just take the height and divide it by however many boxes you want to use, and that's how many you need to go in there. Now, I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to bring this back over here. I'll make it big so you can see it. If I click on the outside and I come over here to my fill window, and I am just going to come down here to have a whole bunch of watercolors. Let's choose this one. This is what it'll look like. It will do it with any pattern that you wish to put in there. The ombre effect will stay. I think that's what I was trying to say, is it will stay. So if you want your designs or your boxes to be like this, that's great. If you think this one is too light, then just come over here, ungroup, highlight it, come over here to the fill window, and put it at, what did we say this one was, 75? Put it at 85. You see it makes it slightly darker. Or put it at 70. Oops, not 10, 7. 70. Okay, this one is at 75. make it whatever you wish. You can make it 100 and it totally goes away. You can make it 0 and it puts it in full color. So whatever you want, that's how that works. All right, so I will go ahead and stick in a picture of this as it has cut and show you what it looks like, and that should pop up here pretty soon. Let's talk about cut settings real quick. Cut settings. So we're going to just go ahead and delete that. We don't need it. Put this back over here. I am going to center this to my page, and I'm going to come over here to the send panel. Now, since we made the bounding box blue and everything else had a no cut line, it'll still show because we've got that one extra box. So let's get rid of that extra box. Come over here to send. Give it a second and that red should disappear here. There it goes. So now we have no color, which is, if you click on it, is all of those black boxes. Now you can have it cut all those black boxes if you want, but we don't want it. So we're going to leave it unchecked. And for me, I have been using a setting of 9 with a speed of 5, but recently I switched it to 7. So we have a blade at 1, a force of 7, and a speed of 5. That is what works for my machine. Try it on yours. Some people are using a lot more force, a lot more speed. Practice, practice, practice. And you don't have to use a fresh sheet each time. Just make a little design and then a little design and then a little design. And try each one. Make a design that is a blue outline. Make a design that's a red outline and a green outline and a purple outline. And each one of those, change your sticker setting to something different so you know which one cuts the best. Okay, that's all I have on how to create an ombre checkbox for your Happy Planner. I hope that helped, and unfortunately I do apologize, this is a little on the long side. I'm going to try to make some more sticker videos, and hopefully they won't be as long. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.